You can't just expect the first person you coffee chat and meet to give you a referral, to like you, to help you. Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to give you my best internship job tips and advice, and also how I got my Google internship this summer in product marketing. If you don't already know, my name is Angelica. I like to make videos about college, lifestyle, fun stuff, dumb stuff. So if that sounds interesting to you, make sure to click subscribe, follow me on my social media, and be part of the community. Before I get started with the tips, I just want to say, I know this process is draining, it's taxing, it's emotionally just self-worth issues and doubting, and it's a lot of emotional baggage and hardship. So I want you to know you are not alone, your feelings are valid, and definitely I hope that you know that one, rejection is redirection. So you are going to face a lot of rejection in this process, but that is just part of it, and really it's nothing personal, nothing about you, nothing about them. It happens. We both know very, very, very qualified people who get rejected all the time. We also know very unqualified people who get the job and internship all the time. So just like the college admissions process, this process is very flawed. And sure, I'm going to be going over things that are going to really, hopefully, objectively maximize your chances, but really, there's so much that goes into it. So in no way am I saying this is a guarantee or really the secret to success, but just trying to maximize your chances of getting that bag. You compare yourself only to you and it's gonna be okay. So first things first is building experience. And I know people are like, wait a minute, Angelica, I'm applying for this internship or position or job to build experience for that next job, but how do I get my first experience if my first experience is asking for experience? So I know what you mean, I've been there, and for that, I really recommend getting involved wherever you can. Maybe that's being a barista or tutoring kids, volunteer, nonprofit, campus clubs, religious organizations. Whatever it is, get involved somewhere, whether it's marketing or finance or communications or website building or software engineering. Really take that initiative to make your own role when you have those opportunities. Before going into my Google internship, I didn't have a lot of sexy, cool internships beforehand, which is probably very common at UC Berkeley for have a freshman internship, sophomore internship, literally an internship out of the womb. But I used my work study experiences, which were campus jobs, social media marketing. I also was the marketing manager of my campus newspaper, which is really well respected in the Bay Area. So really every experience counts. Make sure you write down the numbers, the hours, the impact, the events. So when it comes to writing that resume down, you have all those information to recall. A lot of times we do so much and we don't even think about it. So you really need to write everything down so you remember what to talk about. How much money you guys raised, how many people came to these events, the impact you had, what were the results, did you develop anything, how many views on social media. Like, we want numbers, we want action, we want impact, because it's gonna show how impactful you are. So next is a resume, and I know there's a lot of information about resumes out there, but what I really suggest is having a clean, minimalistic resume, PDF it. This is because so many large companies go through thousands of resumes a day, and guess what? A real person is usually not the first one to read it. A software AI algorithm needs to be able to read your resume. Unless you're applying for a graphic design or fully visual type of position, I highly recommend using a clean, professional resume, even if it's something like marketing, because marketing at the end of the day is very strategy based, and you can always attach additional files to your portfolio. And anytime you talk about an experience, you really want to tell a story arc of what you did, how you did it, and what were the results on each bullet line. And this is because we really want to see that you did something impact, or you learned something, or you were in charge of something. So for example, this could be like raise $5,000 at the fundraiser event through social media marketing, which resulted in high impact campaign and 100 people attending the event. So that way people can follow, oh, that's exactly what she did. Stop using these bullet points to just fill up fluffer and words. People are gonna see past that, and also the computer software is gonna realize that you don't really have anything of true substance. So numbers, I heard using odd numbers is more credible. Action heavy verbs in the first bullet, just so we can tell exactly what you did. There's a lot of synonyms for different action verbs I'm gonna put on the screen, so definitely check those strong action impact-based words as well. And every industry has keywords that they look for, whether it's marketing, consulting, software engineering, investment banking. So you can just Google what keywords work best in that industry, and then making sure your resume has those keywords so it gets picked up. You look at the job or internship listing, those words in that for requirements or just qualifications, you can add those to your resumes. And for a lot of us, we're probably going to be applying to a few different types of industries. So I applied to consulting and marketing and tech. So I made different versions of my resume, kind of tweaked tweaked it so each experience is really showcasing that element of that job's potential. Some people like to change it every time before they apply to a job, just a little bit here and there, and that's another great way to make sure you're really tailoring it every time. So once this gets into hands of a real recruiter, you want the reading process to be as easy as possible, so keeping all the lines consistent, no spelling errors, bold, font, all that is, streamlined into one uniform thing, you know what I mean? So next we have cover letters, and this is something that is some companies really care about this, other companies don't, and I know some consulting companies have literally told us to our face, we don't even look at the cover letters, but I know some companies are like, oh, we read the cover letters. So I would say, just to be on the safer side, always have a strong cover letter template ready, like the resume, having 3 templates, maybe for one industry, another industry, and then another industry. So when you're applying to different jobs, you can fill it in with the job name, description, and you can little tweak it here and there, especially for that position. How I like to format my cover letters: the first is intro, the second is my experiences, and third is kind of how I can contribute, work, what skills I can bring to the table at this new company. But I do think if there is an option for a cover letter, you should definitely write it, because you don't know, this might be a company that cares, this might be a company that doesn't care. So just be safe. So third is networking, and networking is so important, not just for internships and jobs, but really in life. Your network is really your net worth. I think that's what they say. But it's just really being able to have good connections, good mentors, good people who are rooting for you and helping you. For college students, I recommend starting with your college alumni, people who went to your college, working at the companies you're interested in, coffee chatting them, reaching out to them, whether it's on LinkedIn, maybe your school has an internal alumni system, alumni events. Really utilize alumni. You did not pay $60,000 per year for a degree to not be able to really ring the benefits of that alumni network. So use the alumni, use your school name card, and people are going to reach out and help you. Chances are they're gonna know someone that you want, and that's the whole beauty of the network, is that their network now becomes your network. Then you can always just start reaching out to strangers, maybe on some common thing, whether it's experience, hometown, hobbies, whatever it is. LinkedIn is your best friend. I will do a whole video about LinkedIn. I always tell people, whether you knew them or not, you have to coffee chat like 100 people, and then maybe 20 people you're really gonna like, and then 10 people are really gonna be your advocates, and then 5 people are gonna be your mentors, and 2 people are really gonna give you a resume. It's like speed dating and meeting your friends. You can't just expect the first person you coffee chat and meet to give you a referral, to like you, to help you. It's like, people are people. We are picky with who we like. They are picky with who they like. So meet as many people as possible. It's a numbers game, and you're gonna meet some quality people in this process. And these people who are gonna hopefully turn into your mentors and advocates are gonna look over your resume, give you referrals, connect you with their peers who are gonna give you more referrals. Again, referrals are so important because in this climate, it is so hard to just cold resume drop anymore. You need to know someone who can help you at least get your application looked at before it gets tossed out, because there's just so many people applying. If you're a university student, check your school's career center, career events. These companies are coming to your school to post their jobs and opportunities on there, so your application is going to be a priority. And if your school doesn't have that type of portal, look at the companies you're interested in. Most of these companies have university recruiting. These are tailored for college students and way smaller pool, because it's not just like everybody and their moms applying to the position. So look for university, college specific, new grad, graduation, junior type roles. Really, networking, I know I'm talking about it a lot, is how I got so many of my first round interviews, whether it was an official referral or maybe it was just an email connection of, hey, I'm gonna connect you with the hiring recruiter. So I had a Google referral and I ended up getting the internship. I also know referrals are not end all be alls, because I know lots of people who did get referrals who didn't get past the interview round as well. So again, it will at least get your resume looked at. Obviously, some companies, the referral will mean more than others, but it doesn't hurt. Build your network, get those connections, and yeah, get some advocates and mentors in your corner. So now you have your experience, your resume, you are ready. And even before you get interviews, you should be prepping for interviews. And so when you get the interview, you are ready and you're ready to rock and roll. Interviews are so important, and this is really where a lot of people kind of fizzle out. That's why we only have a few select positions available. So I would definitely say, do not underestimate behavioral questions. People are always like,
oh, I'm good at behaviorals, I don't have to practice them.
Those are the people I know who don't end up ever getting the job offer or the internship. When it comes to interviews of behaviorals, you cannot be egotistical and thinking that you don't need to practice. Even if you're extroverted and personable and social, like someone like myself, I spent a lot of time practicing my behaviorals. Tell me about yourself. This is your elevator pitch. It has to be really concise, cut to the chase, but also likable, presentable, and really go over who you are in less than 60 seconds. So I will show you a demo. So when people ask me, tell me about yourself, I say, hey, my name is Angelica. I'm a senior at UC Berkeley. I study business administration and nutritional science. This summer, I was an intern at Google as an associate product marketing manager, and I have experience in consulting, marketing strategy, social media marketing, and digital transformations. In my free time, I love hiking, Pilates, and making content online, but I'm really excited here to talk to you about blank company and blank role. Of course, you want to memorize it and script it, but then also you want to add room for live and personality, but you just don't want to hesitate or jumble it up. You don't want to rant. Most times, no offense, people do not want to hear your life story. More behavioral questions really answer in the STAR method or even the START method. The STAR method is situation, task, action, result. START with the T would be takeaways. So you really want to framework any situation when they ask you, hey, tell me about a time you were a leader. You want to set the situation, you want to set the task at hand, the action, what you did, the results, and then again, if you want to talk about the takeaway. So this way you're not rambling, ranting, and there's a clear structure to your story. There's a lot of universal behavioral questions practice out there, so definitely just go ahead and Google them and practice with your friends, by yourself, but practice, bullet point, write them down, and you're gonna master them. In terms of the technical element, I don't know too much about software engineering or that type of technical interviews, but obviously do your coding interviews, practice the coding books, the case books, practice with your friends, ask people at the company if they're comfortable sharing on how they would best prepare, and even your recruiter, if you're at that interview stage, if you ask them, what type of questions should I be aware about? Well, how should I prep for this interview? And they'll definitely give you a better idea of what to expect. They know some companies are just looking for your confidence and really running with the punches, problem solving, critical thinking. That's essentially what these interviews are for anyways. They want to see how you think, but making sure you can think under pressure and then also get the right answer, hopefully. Last but not least, be confident and kind. Be confident in yourself, know your abilities, know your worth, and if some other company at that moment can't see that, that is their loss, not you. That's a they problem, not a you problem. So you're essentially pitching and selling yourself, and you are your own brand and business with all your abilities and all the great things you have to offer. So the right company at the right time is going to work out for you. And of course, always be kind, whether it's networking, the interview process, your peers who are also interviewing. You literally never know who these people are going to be. It's just always good to be kind to people, whether it's a thank you note, being polite, helping a friend you also know is struggling. There's like a balance of not being a super sucking up type to people, but then also being respectful and polite and appreciative. So definitely keep that in mind. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. I'm going to be linking all the resources below, and my friend recently launched a new podcast called The Job Hunt, which helps you really get an honest candidate experience, look at top companies, internships, jobs, and really, with everyone these days getting smarter and smarter, more educated, the requirements for jobs and listings are only getting harder and harder. It's a really tough time, so I'm with you. I know how it is. So best of luck. You are going to do great. Get that bread, get that coin. Just be patient with yourself. If you like this type of video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, comment below your best internship job. Maybe it's just like go get that bread tip, and I will hopefully see you in the next one.